Darc Award.
The 2016.
The 2017.
They win the 2018
The Darc Award celebrates the best of the best.
We're now appoint the ultimate best of the best Darc Award.
The winner, and I'm really happy about this.
I've been thinking about doing our own awards for quite some time, but I was reticent about it because there were other awards in the lighting industry. But these other awards were quite traditional black tie events, and I wanted to do something alternative. Then other people started asking me, you should do your own awards. And then that's when the idea came up of doing the Darc Awards in the way that we did. Hello, I'm Paul James. I'm the Managing Director of Darc Media, organisers of the Darc Awards. Well, ourselves and Light Collective had collaborated on various projects through the years with the magazine, so it was a natural choice for us to come to Light Collective and to get the creativity going that we needed for the event, and also for someone to look after the installations. So it was a perfect match.
I think at the time when Darc approached us and we started talking about it, there were a lot of formal black tie awards dinners, so it was sort of a saturated market, but also there was a great opportunity to do something different. So we thought, let's do an anti-awards ceremony. Let's not have a sit-down dinner. Let's make it all about the party and the networking. Let's make it a celebration of light and lighting design. And also, let's do things like introduce peer voting so that it's not just a closed room full of judges.
Choice of venue has been a creative decision, so we looked at using spaces that are a little bit different. The first one was in an abandoned church in the middle of a park. Then we moved to an old dairy, then MC Motors, an old garage, and then obviously Fabric. So the venues were a big part of it. Also the theming. We have gone from the theme of Christmas,
movies,
songs, the 80s, which was a classic one. So introducing that has made it feel like a very creative event. And also streaming. At the time when we first started that off, I don't believe anyone was streaming anything. And the idea that we could put the awards online so people that couldn't attend also meant that we were getting the event further afield.
Yeah. I think the concept's great. I mean, the online voting from the international design community, and then the event itself with the installations and the party feel. I just think that people like that much more than the traditional awards, and that's why it's been so successful. Well, I think we always need to evolve and freshen things up, and aspirations to make it bigger, better. We always have to look at things like that. That's why we're looking at new things now for the next event, and I think that will always be the case.
Some of the biggest challenges in the awards has been the logistics. We've had really unconventional venues, and we've had to get in 16 different design teams and their manufacturer partners to create installations.
And their
personalities. We've had a moment where I was guiding trucks, reversing down narrow alleyways. It was just, the logistics was a real challenge. All to do with the fact that we were picking sort of venues that weren't used for awards, really. I think for Light Collective, the benefit or the beauty of doing the Darc Awards, it's just a really great moment to engage the whole lighting design community, to work with them to facilitate something that shows their creativity, but also just to get to see everybody having a really, really good time as well.
At the very first ones we did at MC Motors, we had a cocktail bar and we invited along designers to make a cocktail. So having someone like Mark Major or Paul Nolte make cocktails for the award winners was fantastic. And I think maybe Paul James' Christmas outfit.
The reindeer. Santa, when he was sat on Santa's shoulders. That was very interesting, wasn't it?
How do I feel about presenting the awards? Well, when I was first asked to present the awards, I was a little bit scared because I'd seen, Sharon and Martin and Paul do it over the years. But then, Paul couldn't do it because it was his birthday and he was on holiday, and I stepped in, and it was great fun. it's always nice to get validated for your work, isn't it? And that's what award programs are essentially there for. You're kind of recognising achievements of people and recognising the work that people do. And I think with ours in particular, because it's that peer-to-peer voting, it's getting recognised and acknowledged by your colleagues and by your peers. Oh, it's just a great party, isn't it? I think the awards evening it's so fun, and it's just seeing everyone come together. Like, I always think like lighting design is a community, it's like a family, and bringing everyone together for a big celebration like that is always great fun.
I remember the very first awards and the launch party, and I would say the main way it has evolved has been sort of the amount of people that have been involved in it. So the interest levels in terms of the lighting community, in terms of the kind of installations that we've been able to produce, year on year, the standard has just got higher and higher and higher. I think it's the voting system, as we obviously always talk about. Genuinely, it is a peer-to-peer voting system, and I know some people may question that or maybe think that it's not 100% because, you know, it's people don't see what goes on behind the scenes, but I can hand on heart tell you that Paul James sits there and goes through any questionable votes and kicks them out. So I would say that is the thing that makes it unique, is it really is a peer-to-peer voting system.
My name is Ingo Kaletinsky. I work for DPR Lighting Consultants. Well, personally, I really love creating stuff, so I always jump on the opportunity to be invited for something like this, to create something out of the ordinary and showcase it, really. I guess the biggest challenge, I would say, is to manage to do this well alongside the day job, really. It's always a big ask on the team to commit some of their spare time to this, really.
So our team at Kingfisher, we really love the creativity. Obviously meeting the new designers and getting to know each other working together is absolutely brilliant. And some of the ideas that flow around when we're in the planning stage of the meetings is absolutely amazing. We do come up with some bonkers ideas at times, but I think we've pulled everything together. So that's really what we enjoy the most, is just the collaboration, just working together and just coming up with new ways of using our products to realise their vision.
My name is Joshua Welch and I work for Horley. The team effort from everyone really pulled through by the end of it. It was very stressful at points. The frame was particularly challenging. We used recycled pallets from products and it ended up being a bit too thick. So yes, there were a couple of challenges that are sort of unavoidable, but generally, we overcame all of these challenges.
Kimberly Riley, I work at Cundall. So working together with Signify, who we've not worked with before, getting to know their products, and then we did the trial run at our offices, which was fantastic. And then we brought our concept to life, and everybody was, obviously, collaboration was the key, really. Yeah, and fun.
I'm Lena Kalpakidi and I'm working for Bureau Happold. One challenge is time, that we needed to coordinate our project time with this installation time. But there were also challenges that were turned into opportunities, for example, the low budget or the actual small size of the installation.
So I'm Luke Lockweeton and I work for the Lighting Design Studio. So as lighting designers, it's always a challenge working with or partnering with a company that makes controls, because their stuff's supposed to be hidden. They don't make light fittings, they make control components. It should all be hidden away. So we found it a bit of a challenge to come up with an idea that could really show off a control system that's meant to be hidden. So we really wanted to be quite interactive, something that people can come along and interact with and really show off the control element to it in a fun way.
I am Duncan Hamilton, I work for Into Lighting.
We enjoyed working with a new product in a creative way and installing it into an interesting space. The main challenge, I think, was fixing the product, working out how it went through the space and then programming it. But apart from that, it was pretty smooth.
My name is Alejandro Lizarralde and I work for Equation Lighting Design in London. I think this installation it has been a very nice process of learning. We have learned a lot from our manufacturer and sponsor, and we also put all our skills.
Hi, I'm Kim Ellison and I work for BDP. Really enjoy collaborating on this installation with Radiant Lighting, and also this has been a cross-team effort. That's been challenging on this is designer block. You know, we've got a wonderful concept, however, how do you put it in 3D form? How does it construct detailing? So it's been really nice to come together and it's all worked out really well.
Yeah, I'm Ang from Delta Lighting Design. I think it's about to think out of the box because we, as a designer, we have our own imagination, but when we come into reality, we need to rely on the manufacturer support to make it real and make it feasible within the budget and the time limits. So I think this kind of a bouncing of idea is really nice and enjoyable. Yeah.
I am Martina Moretti and I'm working in Foster Partners. This collaboration, we enjoyed a lot working with new people for a fun and creative project that brings all the lighting community together. We loved being a part of the whole process, from concept to construction, and to watching our project becoming alive.
Okay, so my name is Daniela Cordova and I work for Michael Grob Studio. I think the thing is always like we want to be creative, we want to spend time doing things that are enjoyable, like things like this, because we really love like the whole event and the whole process. But yeah, then you get real deadlines and other things that get in the way. So I think the challenge is always like trying to balance out the, let's say, real projects versus the fun projects like this one and finding time for all of it. I think that's always a challenge.
My name is Daniel Blaker and I work for Nolta Lighting. We faced a few challenges whilst working on this project. Some of them are more technical. I think the physical medium of the equipment we were given was excellent, and I think everything came together really well. The challenges we had were things like making a joystick work. At the last minute, we found worked in trials and didn't work in situ. But on the whole, it's come together pretty well. Weren't too many panics, and it's all turned out great.
I'm Shavoki Allen and I work for Arab. What I enjoyed the most regarding collaborating in this is the team. For me, that was the best part, is working with Kingfisher Lighting and ourselves to make sure this project came to light as we intended it to. Definitely faced some challenges during this project, and it was to do with the DMX sequencing. That was the biggest challenge for all of us.
My name is Paola Palma and I work for Light Bureau. I think what I enjoyed the most for this project was the whole design and production process. Like from the beginning, you have to think about like a whole, like a system. How are you going to build this? The materials, what do you want to communicate? What's the concept? What do you want to transmit with light? It's like a break on people's daily routine. You know, a moment that they can appreciate something and they can look at something that is totally different. So I think it was a really nice experience.
Of the Darc Award is Arab USA with the Fulton Center in New York.
I believe this was actually the first year of the Darc Awards. The variety of components within the lighting industry, whether it be through the actual projects, the products that make our art come to life, it's a unique program and one that I think stands out above the rest within the industry. Seeing the group of very well-established, high-quality and global blue flame thinkers of lighting designers be able to recognize the project as being the best of the best for that year, it felt amazing for myself, also very humbling for me and for many of my colleagues who worked on the project. This is one of those projects that really was a labor of love. Light is literally at the center and at the heart of the project, not only for ourselves, Arup as the prime design consultant, but our great collaborators at Grimshaw Architects. Another aspect about the awards that I find completely engaging is the creative installations that happen on a yearly basis. It really gets people engaged every year, makes it a special event to come to. It's not just a seated dinner. You get the creativity about those installations that the awards tries to and works to celebrate. And so having a complete itinerary around creativity, projects, product, and at the core of it, all of the people who do the work, for me, is really an amazing reason why the darc Awards are very unique and stand out amongst themselves.
Best of the best darc award is Into the Glacier by Nefla.
My name is August Gunnlaugsson and I'm based in Iceland, and my company is Norlighting. It was a really challenging project, and I think the most challenging that I've ever been a part of, both technically and also where it is placed in the middle of a glacier in Iceland. Sometimes it took about 2 to 4 hours just to get to the tunnel, and maybe in a total white snowstorm and in maybe minus 20 degrees, and then it just came in there and it's always 0 degrees. And we were working there up till 20 hours per day. And it was a pretty crazy project. Yeah. The aim was to have no visible lighting and no cables and anything. Everything just hidden in the walls and the floor of the glacier. And we couldn't have the lights on all the time because then everything just got melted, of course. So we had to put sensors in the snow and just then we had this timer on maybe 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes to minimize the heat from the LED.
I think that every project has a kind of a special thing on it, but some speaks better to you. So I always look at the cranes and I imagine some transformers or animals. So it was in my memory, you know. So when I was invited to do the lighting, I was so thrilled that I could give life to my imagination and transform that piece of metal in something alive. When you think on a project to submit to an award, it has to be something really special that you think that they can win, you know. To be in the shortlist is an award, you know, and when you win the award that is from your peers, I think this is special. And he said, yes, you win the category, the structures low budget. And I thought, okay, I will do this extravaganza, so I will travel to London to receive this award. And when I realized that we have won the Darc of Darc, it was amazing, you know. It was something that I really never expected. You know, it's an international award, and we at LD Studio won it, so it was great.
Still, Hints Hall Natural History Museum received more votes than any other project in the awards. So therefore, they win the 2018 Darc Award. Congratulations, CHA Designs. Thank you to everyone that entered and to all those that voted to make this such a special awards process. We appreciate the support you've shown by attending.
My name's Peter Fordham. I'm a partner at DHA Designs. DHA Designs were particularly proud of this project. It was quite unique for us and very iconic, and we wanted it to be seen and shared by other people as well. And the Darc Awards enable us to do that. The project is the Hinsey Hall at the Natural History Museum. It's a fantastic, it's beautiful space, and it was the home to a fantastic dinosaur skeleton for many, many years. And the new exhibition designers decided to change that with the museum, and a blue whale skeleton was hung in that space. We were particularly proud of winning the project, especially Jonathan. Winning the actual award for the project itself was great. Winning Best of the Best was a complete delight. It made Jonathan very, very proud, and we were proud of him for doing so. It certainly has. The project has had a great impact on our work. We repeatedly use the photographs of the project on and on with our promotional material, and because everybody recognises that project as well worldwide on an international scale, not just for museums and other interiors as well. The actual award itself was quite very special for us and to Jonathan, who won the award. Jonathan used to say that he would touch the award for good luck every time he was going to do a pitch that he was particularly really keen to win. Sometimes it worked. The darc Awards are unique. I think they've transformed the award ceremony for lighting designers in the UK and internationally. It's become very, very global now as well, and that's quite unique. So we continue to support it and hope it continues for many, many years.
So the darc Award celebrates the best of the best. I can reveal the winner, and that winner is Aurora Experience by White Night Lighting.
That's what Christmas means to me, my love. Oh, baby, baby.
My name is Arto Heiskanen, and I'm from White Night Lighting from Finland.
My name is Jonas Saarinen, and we from the same company. Aurora Experience, it's basically a sled run that's 1.2 kilometers long, and it gives you the opportunity to be inside of an Aurora experience, or Aurora Borealis. I mean, dynamic moving, or dynamic lighting.
Colorful lighting, yeah.
And also it's telling about the folklore of ancient Lapland.
It was a surprise, amazing thing.
Yeah, I wasn't actually there, but I was really surprised that what on earth is this, that Best of the Best never actually heard about that before then. I think it's really, really nice because it's only focusing in lighting, and what makes it special, I think, is that the voting is done by lighting designers. So it's kind of a celebration with colleagues in a way. So I think that's really a nice concept.
Ultimate Best of the Best darc Award, the project that won the most votes out of any project in the darc Awards. And the winner is Acropolis in Athens. Eleftheria.
Oh, wow, wow.
My name is Eleftheria Deco, and I own the company Eleftheria Deco and Associates Lighting Studio. To tell you the truth, lighting of the Acropolis for us, it was not a project, it was like a journey to our ancestors' history and civilization. It was a journey that regenerated our connection with them. It was a great joy, excitement, happiness, honor, and we didn't expect it, but we welcomed this honor with great joy. Apart from, let's say, the boost of our confidence, it brought us closer to the international public, and this is very, very important, and we owe this to darc Awards and the network.
I'm Michael Grubb from Michael Grubb Studio. I have a studio in Bournemouth on the south coast of the UK and in London, and we are a creative lighting design. With darc Awards, because it's judged by lighting designers, we felt the way we approached that project was about often what we didn't do or how we controlled darkness as well as light, and we knew that that sort of subtlety would be picked up by the audience and the judging. I think the darc Awards are really genuinely one of the few awards where you really don't expect to win, because I think it's judged by lighting designers, so we are our own biggest critics in terms of what we look for in terms of that. So I didn't expect to win the category at all. And so I hadn't even considered the idea of winning Best of the Best until on the evening we were asked to sit in the room and wait. And even then I didn't expect to be perfectly honest.
it is, I know it's a very cliche thing to say, winning the awards off your peers is a very, very kind of nice feeling. Maybe more so than maybe the project, if I'm being really honest, because it's a recognition that you're definitely doing something well by people that you respect and in the industry that you love. Well, winning the award definitely has an impact on the project team and the client and the architect, and people still talk about it now. The project, funnily enough, is still, because there are other elements of the footprint project that are still being finished off, it's still getting recognition. I was told by the architect that the lighting scheme was presented to a talk at Harvard only last week as well. So I think it has had an impact a bit, because whilst people love it and they see it for what it is, I think it gives it the recognition and kudos that it deserves. When we look at projects as lighting designers, we notice things like, reflection and glare, all these sort of things that are quite subtle, but everything has to be quite perfect to get that vote. And I think that that recognition from the other members of the lighting industry and the sport is massive. And I think it means that you don't have any sort of fake winners, if that makes sense. Everyone genuinely deserves their win. And I think that's what makes it so special.
Best of the Best Dark Award has done exceptionally well. It's one of the low budget categories. It's Plastic Brennan UK by Darc Source. Congratulations, Kevin.
My name is Kerem Asfaroğlu. I'm the founder of Darc Source, a lighting design practice driven by social and environmental values. Darc Awards gives this really different platform for designers and their projects to be appreciated from a different perspective. This is unlike other awards. This is your peers really giving you the vote of confidence and approval. That makes actually the message of the winner, or the award, greater, in the sense of it shows where the trends are going, what people appreciate, where designers want to move towards. It gives you an idea about the aspiration. So Darc Awards always gives you a good view of not only where we are at, where we want to be at as well. I think Darc Awards, by creating different tiers, weight classes, allowed for bringing the appreciation to different kind of projects. So there's much more diversity to it. Last year's award-winning project was Plastic Brennan, which is based in North Wales, located in Snowdonia National Park, which is a dark sky reserve. This National Outdoor Centre was causing a lot of light pollution based on the location it's located. It was a dark sky reserve since 2015. So working with Project NOS and Snowdonia National Park Authority, we came up with a kind of lighting improvement project, which quickly turned into a lighting enhancement project, which actually increased the potency of dark skies, completely eliminating light pollution, reducing carbon emissions by 2 tons. It was actually surreal to win the best of the best, because it was the first time ever a low budget project won the overall award. Which showed an interesting shift of paradigm and perspective, not in terms of lighting designers looking at light pollution and taking that seriously. It was also appreciating, projects of this caliber in a way that was never done before.
My name is Eugenia Chang. I work for Light Origin Studio. Oh, shocked. Honestly, I was very shocked. It was actually very humbling. I want to thank my team, the whole project team. I think everyone put in a lot of work, and I feel very, very privileged and very humbled by the experience. It impacted our company in the sense that it meant that we knew we could do challenging projects with a low budget, but it could do a very good result. And so we hope that in the future, it would help us get more recognition for our abilities, and hopefully be able to design better lighting projects. The peer-to-peer vote, I think that is probably one of the most unique voting systems, and I think that's a true way of showing if the project is successful, or like being admired or getting recognition from the industry. I think that's very unique, because it's usually not the case in other awards. So yeah, I think that's what makes it so unique.
Darc Awards are
creative,
magic,
fun.
eclectic. Yes, the party is just legendary. It's inclusive.
A celebration.
It's a community.
Community.
Bright.
Light-hearted.
I think I would use the word groovy to sum up the Darc Awards.
Creativity. The Darc Awards is unique.
Are inspiring.
It might be a bit cliche, but it's definitely inspirational.
Nice.
I think the Darc Awards are unique.
Unique.